All right, the recorder's kicked in. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the next edition to Monday Morning with Rico. Today's date is Monday, March 24th, 2025. Glad to have you with us today. I'm in a good mood. I'm just coming off of, if you were just listening, just coming off of a really good weekend. My wife and I decided last Monday when the NCAA, well, it was last Sunday night that the NCAA brackets came out, and we saw that Auburn was going to be in Lexington, Kentucky this past weekend. So we took the 9.5 hour drive down to Lexington, Kentucky to watch Auburn. Luckily, they won both games. We got to drink a lot of bourbon. It was a lot of fun. Got to see some family who were down there. So it was a very good weekend. But here we are back to start up the new week, and you're going to be really glad we have a really good session today. Before I turn it over to our presenter, just a couple of things to keep in mind. I have all the phone lines muted. We just do that to keep out the background noise, but you can still ask questions. Just use the chat feature. You can chat your question to me, the host, Chris Glover, or you can chat it to everyone. I'll see it either way. So please feel free. Today is a session that you're going to want to ask questions just to make sure that you have the information that you need, because it's going to be centered around a new product launch that just launched last Wednesday. So today is the day to ask your questions since we have the subject matter expert, Marlene Orr. So just a couple other things. This session is being recorded. So if there's someone on your team that you think would benefit from seeing this, this will be posted to Marcom Central by tomorrow morning. And it will be called the launch presentation of the IMC 401F and IMC 401 SRF with Marlene Orr. And it will have the date of Monday, March 24th. So we try to make it as easy as possible so you can see which recording it is. So after Marlene's done, I'm going to give Marlene most of the time because we want to make sure all this information's out for you. Here's the keys to today's session. Marlene Orr, who we've had on before, she is the product manager for these devices. So that's why I'm saying if you have questions, this is the source. This is the best person to ask. If there is a question somehow that we just don't know the answer to, we'll make sure that we get that answer for you. But today's a good day to get that answer, or I should say, get that question answered for you. The official launch date of this technology hardware was last Wednesday, which was March 19th. So that's the first thing I want everyone to know is this is active in the system. So what's great about Monday Morning with Rico is we can get these things in a very timely fashion. So obviously it just launched Wednesday, and now we have Marlene here Monday to present it to all of you. So we'll end with the trivia question at the very end of the session, and we'll crown our Monday morning all-star for today, Monday, March 24th. So with that, Marlene, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining. I want to, as Chris said, I'm going to go through this new product. I'm going to rush through the slides a little bit because I want to leave plenty of time for Q&A. So this is our, as the world is changing and work styles evolve, we know that we have to change with it. And so these products are designed to create better information sharing, better efficiency, more cost-effective operations. And so today we are going through with you the products that were announced last week on Wednesday, these next generation color A4 MFPs. So right near the top of our line, we have the IMC 400F and IMC 400 SRF, which have phased out. And breaking news as of this morning, the IMC 400F is depleted. The IMC 400 SRF is almost depleted. So these products have been sunset, and we are now moving to the IMC 401 series. You will see a lot of similarities to the last generation product. However, there are some significant upgrades. So these simple to use A4 devices help customers share information, provide vibrant color output to help communicate. They help secure data and support environmental goals. And so these products provide the advanced functionality of our A3 portfolio, but provide the more compact A4 footprint. And so from a positioning standpoint, these products sit near the top of our line. The IMC401 SRF provides a standard internal staple finisher. The IMC401F is the base model. Both of these replace the IMC400 series. They have the same form factor, so there's no change in size or footprint. And with that, let's dive into what's new and different. And so from a speed perspective, we are exactly the same. It is based on the same engine, uses the same supplies. So if you have a stock of supplies, the toner, drums, all the components, they are cross-compatible to the new generation. So that's good for your inventory. You don't have to switch to a totally new, parts and supplies. Some of the key differences I've highlighted. We're upgrading to the G3 panel from the G2.5, so you're going to get all the latest security upgrades. It is still the 10-inch panel, no change in the size. You've got the additional memory in the SOP that the last generation did not have. One of the biggest changes is changing from the standard hard drive to a standard SSD. And this is a very common change in the industry. We did it on our IMC 7010 series. And you see all of our competitors moving to SSDs as well. So this is nothing groundbreaking. For those customers that do need the active data overwrite, we do have an optional hard drive available. From a paper capacity, everything is the same. We've moved from up to 4 customizable admin settings for up to 20. And then for the TPM version, we've moved from 1.2 to 2.0. And something that we've had come up in quite a few accounts lately, the need for WPA3 support for the Wi-Fi. So the last generation was only up to WPA2. This new generation is WPA3 standard. Along with that Wi-Fi, I want to call out that this new generation has standard integrated Wi-Fi. There is no option for Wi-Fi as it's embedded in the mainframe. Again, the SSD, which I called out previously, all the updated security. From an environmental perspective, there is a reduction in plastic packaging and 10% recycled plastic content in the mainframe versus 5% in the prior generation. From a features perspective, again, 45 pages per minute in black, 42 in color, the updated SOP, same maximum paper capacity of 2,300 sheets. And again, it uses the same supplies as the prior generation. The IMC 401 SRF, again, has the same features plus the standard internal staple finishing. The updated G3 panel, again, same look and feel as the IMC 6010, 7010 A3 series. So it's no learning curve moving from one to the other. It has a standard 50 sheet SPDF. One thing that I did want to call out with the scan speeds, these are A4 speeds. So letter speeds are 41 images per minute simplex, 82 images per minute duplex. We're going to get these updated on Marcom Central. That is one minor miss on our part. We gave letter speeds for everything except for scan speeds. Those are in A4. From a size perspective, these of course are legal size through the document feeder, letter size. on the Platin. There is no 11x17 support. I know there's been a lot of questions about this series, if it's going to have the convenience A3 like our IM370, IM460. Unfortunately, these do not. This is letter legal only. And then from a paper drawer perspective, the standard paper drawer is 550 sheets, but it is a 4-letter support only. The optional drawer is required for legal size paper support through the drawer. We have a series of cabinet options and the caster table. Again, these are the same size and shape as the prior generation. The color has changed slightly of the outer plastics due to the increased recycled plastic content in the mainframe. And so we do have new EDP codes for the cabinets, and the main difference on the output, again, is the IMC401F includes just the regular output tray. The IMC401SRF has the staple finisher. There's also the 1-bin tray available for output separation, and this is compatible with the IMC401F only. From a data storage perspective, again, I mentioned the SSD is the standard. There's the optional hard drive, and there's also another option available, the self-encrypting FIPS validated SSD for those high security environments, mostly government and those types of customers that need the highest security. And there's some additional information on Marcom Central that goes into more detail on the data overwrite security that is available with the hard drive. From a solutions compatibility perspective, we did test the IMC401 series with all of our key Ricoh and third-party software. These products behaved just as we expected them to. There's no issues with compatibility on these products. From a security perspective, it is the same updated security that you find on our IM6010 7010 series. So you have the flexible admin role, and my slides did not do what they were supposed to do. I apologize. The updated OS, the hardened version of Android, the latest security features on the controller, WPA3 authentication, as I mentioned, is now standard on this product. And then from a networking security enhancement perspective, both products have the TLS 1.3 protocol, which is a requirement in a lot of environments, TPM 2.0, and the SMB enhancements. From a basic spec perspective, this is, again, very similar to the outgoing IMC 400 series. The biggest changes would be the standard wireless included and the SSD as the standard instead of the hard drive. And then, of course, the increased recycled plastic content in the mainframe. From a paper handling perspective, again, same features as the prior generation. I've included that here for you, and all of this is up on Marcom Central for reference. And then, of course, the resources that are available to you, the product pages on RicohUSA.com and Ricoh.ca, the product brochures, online how-to videos, user manuals. The online configurator is live and active. And then from an internal perspective, you'll find on Marcom Central the sales launch presentation, which is this file, the product information guide, common features guide, and common features matrix, access to BLIQ, and then the software portfolio selection tool. That is all I have for slides. I want to leave plenty of time for questions. Chris, I don't know if we've had any up to this point.
Yep, I have a couple.
Okay.
So it said, you said the supplies are the same. Does it
Yes.
come standard with supplies?
No. So just like the prior generation, anything that is designed to be sold with a service contract and is technician serviceable does not include supplies. So just like our A3 products, there are no starter supplies from the factory. So you will have to purchase the toner along with the mainframe.
Got it. You said that the launch date was last week.
Yes.
So everybody knows the launch date was March 19th, which was Wednesday. The question is, has it started with orders? Is it starting to ship?
Yes, yes, we have inventory. We've already started to fill orders. So you can go ahead and place orders. And like I said, the IMC 400F, as of this morning, we are completely depleted. Depletion notice hasn't even gone out yet. That's why I had said breaking news. But this prior generation has been fully depleted for the IMC 400F, the IMC 400 SRF. We still have a handful of them left, but we've fully transitioned over to the IMC 401 series now.
Okay, well, that's good because that was one of the questions. The other one is, will CloudStream be compatible?
Yes, and I believe that was on the slide, and if it wasn't, there it was. Yeah, CloudStream is one of the ones that we had tested.
Okay.
And so there is compatibility with CloudStream. And we're trying to include this in the sales decks now, because there's always questions about the software compatibility. And so we're trying to get ahead of questions. So it's actually really good when we do these kind of things, Chris, that we can get the questions so that we know what types of things the dealers have top of mind so that we can try and proactively include it in the presentation.
Okay. Said, can you go back to the first slide? It said that showed like the product roadmap, I'm assuming. It looks like where it had all the devices. Okay. So the question here, which I think you just answered, you said the 400, which I don't even see it on here anyway, but you said the 400 is completely gone, right?
Yep. So the 400 has transitioned completely to the 401.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I didn't
Yep.
see it right away. Okay. So that's what they wanted to see visually. And then the follow-up question to that is relationship to, okay. So in relationship to competition, like what in your mind are the competitors in this space?
So I don't have the model names off the top of my head, but you know, Lexmark, HP, Canon. So Chris, I don't know. There's actually a battle card that has those competitors up on our world. I don't know if I sent them. Would I send it? I would send it to Kim, right, to get it up on Marcom Central.
You can, yep, or you can send it directly to a deal. That would be the fastest way if you send it to a
Okay.
deal.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have the images for this on the shared folder, just an update, but I don't have all the other collateral yet.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, so I'll send you this stuff. So I had put together a battle card against the competition, and I apologize. I had a long birthday weekend, so my brain is out to lunch. So I don't remember the competitors, but I do have side by sides for the specific competitors, and I will send those off to a deal, as soon as we finish this call, so that it
Yeah,
can be
that's
shared
great.
out
And
with
then we'll just
everyone.
get it. Yeah, we'll get it loaded on there today. That's great that you have that. So that's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, because that's one of the questions that we do get a lot, especially from the dealers. And so we wanted to make sure we had that available at launch.
Okay. All right, let me go back through my questions really quick, make sure we got everything. All right, so supplies we answered. We answered confirmation of launch date. You said stuff's in inventory and ready to be shipped out.
Mhm.
We got the cloud stream question. Just looking to make sure if I hit everything else that. Hey guys, is there anything else that you want to ask Marlene while we have her on the phone? Oh, here we go. Let's see. Is the IMC 300F getting updated?
That's actually a good question. The answer to that is no. There is no direct replacement for the IMC 300F. We will be phasing that product out later this summer. The best migration path for that product is either down to the IMC 320F, which was introduced in October. And so that is, it's a little bit faster, it's priced a little bit lower. It has a smaller touch screen, but it has a lot of the same features and functionality. So it has the G3 controller or the G3 SOP and the latest controller. The maximum paper capacity right now is 800 sheets on the IMC 320F. However, we are working on a firmware upgrade to be able to add an additional paper drawer, and that should be coming in the August timeframe. So that makes it a better migration path from the IMC 300 to the IMC 320. For customers who will need higher paper capacity up to 2,300 sheets, or they need the active data overwrite through the hard drive, they will have to go with the IMC 401. There is no optional hard drive for the IMC 320, but there is one for the IMC 401. So those are the two migration paths available for the IMC 300.
Great. I don't know if you would know this, Marlene, because we'll have to talk. It says, when will this be added to the NASPO contract?
Yeah, that unfortunately is outside my area of expertise. Um, we'll have to follow up on that
Okay,
with the pricing teams.
got it.
So one other thing that I should throw out there, as we all know, there is some unrest in the world. These products are made in China. So just being aware from a tariff perspective, I know the communication has gone out that the tariff price increases on our existing products will take effect on April 1st. These products are being launched with the tariff already incorporated.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, just an update on the NASPO. So it's usually updated once a month, so probably next week for the NASPO contract pricing.
Okay.
So that's when we can expect it. Thanks, Adil. The other question that just came in is, are these Ricoh branded and Ricoh made?
Yes, these are Ricoh designed, developed, built. They are based on the existing Ricoh engines that we had on the IMC 400 series, just updated with the latest security, the latest controller, the updated panel, and increased recycled plastic content in the mainframe.
Excellent. All right, I think, let me make sure. I think we got all the questions, Marlene.
Okay. And Chris, you know, if anything comes in after the fact, you know where to find me. I'm always happy to answer additional questions.
Absolutely. Well, Marlene, I appreciate you jumping on the call today and being the very timely information to get this launched to everyone. I always appreciate having you on. All right. So we will end today's session with our trivia question to see who the Monday Morning All-Star is for today, Monday, March 24th, 2025. So I'm sure all of you are familiar with the IMAX theater. Usually every town has probably one. And it's funny because we were down in Kentucky and I actually saw an IMAX theater and somebody said to me, "Hey, what does that mean?" And I said, "I don't know." So who can tell me, when you see an IMAX theater, what does the IMAX stand for in IMAX theater? It was funny because I actually, oh, look at you. Look at someone jumped all over that. Let's see what else we get. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, back to back. Excellent. That is true. Back to back Monday morning All Stars. So the correct answer, what does IMAX stand for? It stands for Image Maximum. So Byron Espinoza, I think he's right. Back to back Monday morning All Stars. Byron, you are the Monday Morning All-Star for today, Monday, March 24th, 2025. You will hold the crown again until someone tries to take it from you next Monday. Now, just so that you know, there are 5 Mondays this month, which sometimes is dismaying to me because it's not always easy to get a presenter every Monday. But luckily for me, because the launch was today, or the launch was last week, I was able to pull in Marlene or today, which helped me a lot, which then allowed me to push production out 1 week. So that means next Monday, which is going to be Monday, March 31st, we will be doing the production topic with Bill Donnelly and Michelle McGilsky. So make sure you join us for that. So with that, everyone, hey, have a great week. Successful selling. We got 1 week to go in the month of March. And for Ricoh, that's the end of our fiscal year. So then we will start out the new fiscal year in April. So with that, everyone, have a great week. And hopefully I'll see all of you next Monday. Take care.